Hi everyone, my name is Niranjan Pandey and I welcome you all to this online video course on behalf of the CTLD. Okay, so this course is going to be very helpful for you people because you can watch these video lessons at your own comfort, at your own time, sitting at your home. Okay, so see, in this course, I will be creating at least 5 or 6 video depending upon the number of questions I can create and will provide you the whole series. Once you watch all this video, I don't think you need to refer something else. You need not to refer some books for the problems because the variety of problems that have been asked in the placement papers or in the competitive exam, I will try to cover all. And then at the last, I will be providing you some sample questions as well, or the link of those sample questions from where you can practice these questions. Okay. So the topic that I have picked for this course is allegation and mixture. And believe me, this is one of the very important topic of quantitative aptitude. If I talk about the importance of this topic, at least 1 or 2 questions every year in placements or any of the competitive exam ranging from SSC and banking to CAT level you can find. So this is such an important topic, and the good thing about this topic is it is easy to learn. There are some techniques, there are some tricks that you need to learn so that you can master this topic and do not buffle in the examination hall. So without wasting your more time, let's start the topic as I said. So as I said, the topic name is mixture and allegation. Okay, so mixture and allegation, the very first thing that comes in your mind is how this course content will work and in which order I'm going to provide you the course content. See, the videos will come in this order as I have written here. First, in the first or the starting videos, I will be covering what is the mixture and allegation. Okay, we will have the basic rules of allegations, how we apply the allegation, in what different variety of questions allegation can be applied. Like if I name some of the topics of quantitative aptitude, time, speed and distance, and then profit and loss, and then average, we can see there are some particular questions from this topic that can be solved with the help of allegation technique. So we will learn how to apply the allegation, what are the different things that we need to keep in our mind when I'm applying the allegation into those particular questions. We'll see some examples from these topics and how these examples we can handle in different way. After that, once you thorough with the allegation concept, I will start the mixture. Okay, so different type of mixtures of 2 variables or 3 variables we will see here. And once you are done with the mixture, I will be discussing the replacement question. This is one of the again important kind of questions that are being asked. So replacement, you will see that a difficult topic. Generally, the student leave this type of questions, but I will be explaining you the handy tricks and the easy techniques to solve this question in shortest possible time. And at the end, definitely, I will cover all the miscellaneous problems from the different placement papers like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, MCAT, and some of the government exams like SSC banking, okay, and some of the good questions from the CAT as well. So I will be covering all the miscellaneous problem at the end, and then I will provide you the worksheet to practice different kind of questions. So this will be the course flow. Let's start the course now. So as you see, the very first thing we need to discuss about the mixture. So what is mixture? What comes in your mind when you hear the word mixture? So we have been hearing this word mixture since our childhood in chemistry. We have been learning this thing already, but just to revise it, I have written the definition. A mixing of 2 or more than 2 types of quantities is nothing but the mixture. Okay, but here I need to stress more on how we represent the mixture rather than what the mixture is, because in quantitative aptitude you are not going to be asked for the definition. You need to solve the problems. So I will be stressing more on this example part, how we represent the mixtures, what are different way to represent. See, so generally mixtures can be represented in 2 ways. Either it can be represented in percentage or it can be represented in the ratio form. So the first example that I taken, let's suppose I have a mixture of milk and water. So there is 20% water in the mixture. So it suggests me everything. Like if there is 20% water, so definitely there will be 80% milk in the mixture. Or if I want to find the ratio from here, I can get the ratio as well. Water and milk ratio will be 20% and 80%. So it will be 1:4 only. Similarly, if you do not want to represent this in percentage, you can represent this in form of the ratio, as in the second example I have taken. Milk and water are mixed in 4:1. So there are two ways of representing the mixture. So we will see the problems of mixture later on in the later videos, but in the today video, I will be stressing more on the alligation concept. We'll see what the alligation is. See, allegation is not a concept, it's just a method, it's just a technique that we need to apply in some particular kind of questions. So as I've written here, allegation is a rule which is used to solve the problems related to mixture and its ingredients. Let's suppose you have created two different variety of mixtures. So in what ratio you have mixed them, if you need to find, you can find with the help of allegation technique. So why you should use the allegation? If you ask me why I should use the allegation, so you should use the allegation to avoid the unnecessary time of forming the equation. When you use the allegation technique, you save your time from forming the equations. You need not to assume any variable. Like in our childhood, we used to assume like let the value of this is x, and then we used to form the equation in x, and then we used to solve and get the answer. But here I will be saving you those time. Okay, that time can be saved if you learn this allegation technique. So a few things that you need to keep in your mind when you learn about the allegation. You can say the diagram of allegation look like this. Okay, so you need not to worry about more about these things. What is written here? Once you go and learn this properly, then you will be clear with what the idea of this diagram and what is this written at the last. So don't stress about this thing. Let me discuss it here. I will try to make it clear for you. See, let's suppose I take a very simple example. Okay, and from this example, I will try to make you clear. Let's suppose I go to market. Okay, I go to market and I ask for the rice. I will go to market and ask for the rice. So the shopkeeper shows me two different type of rice. Rice 1 and rice 2. Two different type or two different variety of rice, and he says the rice 1 is costing rupees 40 per kg. Okay, and rice 2 is costlier. Let's suppose it is costing rupees 50 per kg. Okay, so I went to the market and I asked for the rice. So he showed me two different variety of rice. One rice is costing 40 rupees per kg, another is 50 rupees per kg. But I don't want to take both of the rice. So I asked him to mix the rice so that the price becomes 48 rupees per kg. Okay, I asked the shopkeeper to mix these two rice so that the price becomes 48 rupees per kg. So he asked me, how much kg you want? So I say, I want 5 kg. So shopkeeper is not as intelligent as you people are. So I will ask you, sir, in what ratio I should mix? I don't know. So with the help of allegation technique, within seconds you will be able to solve this problem and help the poor shopkeeper. Okay, so shopkeeper is not intelligent. He will not be able to mix it properly because he just showed you that there are 40 rupees per kg rice and 50 rupees per kg rice, but he cannot create a rice of 48 rupees by mixing in the proper ratio. So you will say, okay, just wait, let me try. So how you apply allegation? See, in allegation, you have two different variety that you mix. So these two varieties are written here. So I write rice 1 here, I write rice 2 here. And the prices of rice 1 and 2, I will write in the bracket like 40 and 50. Okay. And if you are going to mix this rice 1 and 2, you are creating a mixture. So mixture price you will write here. So mixture that you are creating is costing 48 rupees. So if I am interested in finding the ratio, in what ratio I should mix, so I will just take the difference of these two values and write here. Please focus properly. I will take the difference of these two and write here. The difference of these two values is nothing but 2. And similarly, I will take the difference of these two values and write here. This is the technique actually, that's what I said. The alligation is a technique that you need to master. So if you take the difference of these two values, you will write 8 here. Difference of 40 and 48 is 8, so I write here. Difference of 50 and 48 is 2, so I write here. And if I'm interested in finding the ratio, I'll just see that ratio of 2 and 8 is nothing but 1:4. Simple. So you will say to the shopkeeper that you need to mix the rice 1 and 2 in the ratio of 1:4. Isn't it? Isn't it easy to solve without using any variable, without using an equation? We got the answer. So in the ratio of 1 and 4, so what quantity you are asking for? You are asking for 5 kg. You are asking for 5 kg from the shopkeeper. See, here the value is also 5. So you will say to the shopkeeper, rice 1 you need to mix 1 kg of rice 1 and 4 kg of rice 2. And hence he will be properly creating the 5 kg rice costing 48 rupees per kg. So this is the simple technique, and this technique is known as alligation technique. So we will solve a different variety of questions using this technique. But before you apply this technique, I'll just tell you a few simple rules. See, alligation is always written in this way. There is variety 1, there is variety 2, and there is the mixture. So you always write mixture here. So the value of the mixture, the rule 1, there are a few rules that you need to keep in mind. So rule 1 is these two variety 1 and 2, let's suppose this is variety 1 and variety 2, the cost of the mixture should always lie between these two. Let's suppose it is 60, it is 80, the mixture price should always lie between 60 and 80. Then only you will apply the alligation, and this will definitely rise. If you are creating two different mixtures of 60 and 80, the price will always lie between 60 and 80. It might be 61, 62, 65, 78, 79, anything, but between 60 and 80. So in this way, you will apply the alligation. Then you write, let's suppose mixture price. Let's suppose it comes out to be 75. For example, it comes out to be 75. Then you subtract these two and write the difference here. Subtract these two. If you subtract these two, the difference is 15, you will write here. Similarly, you subtract these two and write the difference. The difference is 5 here. And here you will take the ratio. 5 and 15 will give you 1:3. So the variety 1 and variety 2 should be mixed in 1:3. So you need to keep in your mind the order. Okay, the order of 1 and 2 should be 1, 3. But if the question asks you what is the order of variety 2 and variety 1, what is the ratio of variety 2 and variety 1, then the ratio will be 3:1. So whatever the question asks, you can easily answer from here. So this is the first rule. The mixture price will be right here in between. You will subtract these two and get the answer. Okay. Do not worry about the sign. I'm saying just take the difference. The difference you need not to worry about the sign, whether it is -5 or +5, you need not to worry about. So this is the very first rule. The second and the very important rule, the second rule, and this is a very important rule, believe me, and most of the time you will create confusion in this if you are not thorough with this alligation technique. See, whenever you are writing these three things, always write these three things in the same unit. You should write the things of same units. Like if you are writing the cost price here, you are writing the cost price of variety 2. Let's suppose you are writing the cost price of variety 1, you are writing the cost price of variety 2. You should always take the cost price of mixture. You cannot take the selling price here. So most of the students create this confusion at the end. They take cost price of the variety 1, cost price of the variety 2, but if the question has given the selling price, they write selling price here, and hence they get the incorrect answer. You cannot write the selling price. This should have the same unit. So it is cost price, so mixture should also have the cost price. Okay. And the second thing is that, let's suppose you are writing the percentage here, percentage of something. Here also you will write the percentage, and here also you will write the percentage. If you are writing percentage here, you cannot write here the quantity or the fraction. Here also you will write the percentage. Okay, so the unit should be same, keep in your mind. Next thing, and let's suppose you are writing something here, something here, something here. If you are writing, let's suppose the speed here, you will write speed here. So again, here you will write the mean speed. You cannot take any other thing like distance you cannot write or time you cannot write because you need to take the difference. So these all three should have of same unit. So this please keep in your mind. So by using these two rules, we will solve few of the problem, and there is one more rule and I will be discussing that rule at the later point of time. Okay, so let's solve the very first problem and we can handle the concept with the problem only. Let's suppose I go to the very first problem and I ask you to try this problem by yourself. First try your problems. First stop the video, pause the video and try this problem by yourself. Okay. See, if I have to explain, I explain this way. In what ratio must a grocer mix two varieties of pulses costing rupees 15 and rupees 20 per kg so that to get a mixture worth rupees 16.5 per kg? Okay. It's a very simple question. I think you will not take more than 4 or 5 seconds to answer this question. So you have two variety of pulse. Okay, variety 1 and variety 2. So cost of variety 1 is 15 rupees. Cost of variety 2 is 20 rupees. And when I'm going to mix these two variety, the mixture cost is 16.5 rupees. So I will subtract these values in this way. Please first write these three things. The variety 1, variety 2, and then mean price or the mixture price. Then let's suppose I subtract these two, or I take the difference of these two. So difference of these two is 1.5. Similarly, take the difference of these two and write here. The difference of 20 and 16.5 is nothing but 3.5. So this is your ratio. Simplify it. So decimal and decimal you will remove. Then 15 and 35 you can simplify with the help of 5. So it is 7:3. Simple. So the variety 1 and variety 2 should be mixed in the ratio of 7:3, and hence the answer A will be the correct answer for this question. Isn't it easy to solve? Okay, let's suppose if something else is asked in the question. If let's suppose the question asks you how much quantity of variety 2 I should mix if I'm mixing the 70 kg of variety 1. If I'm mixing the 70 kg of variety 1, how much quantity of variety 2 I should mix? So first you will find the ratio, that is 7:3, and the variety 1 is mixed how much? 70 kg. So if 7 part is 70 kg, so how you are getting 70? So one part, see 7 part, if I say 7 part is 70 kg, so definitely one part will be 10 kg. If your one part is 10 kg, your 3 part will be nothing but 30 kg. So I can simply answer the question, if you are mixing 70 kg of variety 1, you have to mix 30 kg of variety 2. So I hope it is clear to all. So I will be moving on the next question. And again, the rule is same. First you will pause the video, you will try to solve the question by yourself, and then you will see the solution. Read the question, pause the video and try to solve the solution by yourself. Try to get the question answer. Try to get the answer by yourself. Okay, let me discuss it now. See, the question says, how many kg of custard powder costing rupees 42 per kg must be mixed with 16 kg of custard powder costing rupees 60 per kg so that 20% may be gained by selling the mixture at rupees 60 per kg. Okay, so this question is somewhat moderate level question. The first one was the easy level, this is of moderate level. Here you need to keep one thing in your mind. There are two varieties of custard powder, the variety 1 and variety 2. The cost price of variety 1 is 42 rupees per kg. So this is 42 rupees per kg. I need not to write this whole 42 rupees per kg, but let's suppose I have written, so I am writing this whole 42 rupees per kg. Cost price of variety 2 is 60 rupees per kg. 60 rupees per kg. So question asks you, how many kg of variety 1 that is costing 42 rupees per kg must be mixed with 16 kg of variety 2 that is costing 60 rupees per kg so that if I sell the mixture at 60 rupees per kg, so that if I sell the mixture at 60 rupees per kg, so selling price of the mixture is given as 60 rupees per kg. If you sell the mixture at 60 rupees per kg, this is the selling price of mixture. Okay. So the profit that you get is of 20%. So can you write 60 here? So most of the time students do mistake, like they write 60 directly, but you need to focus that this is a selling price of the mixture. As I said in the starting of the video, if I am writing the cost price of variety 1 and cost price of variety 2, I need to write the cost price here. So I need to write the cost price of the mixture. I cannot write the selling price. So this will be wrong if you use 60 here. So how I get the selling price of the mixture? For that you must have the knowledge of profit and loss. Because once you learn the profit and loss percentage, all this topic, then only you come to the mixture and allocation. So I will be using the technique of profit and loss. See, if I am selling a mixture at 60 rupees per kg and I am getting a gain of 20%, so I will just write the gain equation. So SP should be 1.2 times of CP. So SP is selling price. Selling price is 1.2 times of cost price, isn't it? So my selling price of the mixture is given as 60. So I write here this is 1.2 times of cost price. So the cost price of mixture will be 60 divided by 1.2. If I remove the decimal, I take 0 here, 12, this is 5, so 50. So the cost price of the mixture is nothing but 50 rupees per kg. So this value you will use here. So this value of the mixture you will use here. So I just erase this part. You cannot use 60. You will be just using 50 here, because the cost price of the mixture is 50 rupees per kg. I hope you guys are keeping in your mind the rule number 2, that the unit should be same. If you are writing the cost price here, the mixture cost price you need to write. You cannot write the selling price. So in question I have been given with the selling price. Okay, when the selling price was given, this additional data has been given so that I can get the cost price of the mixture. So how I write this equation, you must have the knowledge of profit and loss. So from profit and loss concept, I have written this equation. This is selling price equal to 1.2 times of cost price, and this equation is written for 20% gain. Okay, when you have a 20% gain, directly write this equation and you get the cost price of the mixture. So this is the cost price of the mixture. Okay, now what I need to do? Now the question is very simple. You just subtract these two values right here. 60 and 50 if I subtract, I get 10 here. 42 and 50 if I subtract, I get 8 here. So the ratio of 10 and 8, simply I can get this is 5 and this is 4. Ratio of 10 and 8 is nothing but 5:4. So question asks you how many kg of variety 1 you should mix with 16 kg of variety 2. See, the 4 part value is given as 16. If the 4 value is given as 16, because you are mixing variety 2 4 part and variety 1 as 5 part. So you are taking 5 part of variety 1 and 4 part of variety 2 and you are mixing these two. So if 4 part value is given as 16 kg, so 1 part value will be 4 kg. If 1 part value will be 4 kg, so 5 part value will be nothing but 20 kg. So this is the answer for this question. 20 kg is the answer for this question. I hope it is clear to all. Isn't it? Let's revise this question again. If something is not clear, let's revise this question very quickly. Okay. I just clear all and I just revise the question very quickly. I'll repeat the whole concept again. See, I just tell that there are two variety 1 and variety 2, and the cost of variety 1 is 42, the cost of variety 2 is given as 60, and you are mixing 16 kg of variety 2 with unknown kg of variety 1, and the selling price of the mixture is given to you as 60 rupees per kg, and the gain is given 20% gain. If you are selling the mixture at 60 rupees, you are getting a 20% gain. So you write the gain equation. This is 1.2 times of CP, and from where I get this gain equation is from profit and loss. So SP is nothing but 60. If 60 I divide by 1.2, I get the cost price of the mixture, and that will be 50 rupees per kg. Okay, so I just write 50 here because in allegation I need to write the three things: the price of variety 1, the price of variety 2, and the price of variety 3. I just take the difference of these two, I get 8 here. I take the difference of these two, I get 10 here. And if I take the ratio, it is 5:4. So 4 part of variety 2 should be mixed with 5 part of variety 1. So 4 value is given as 16 kg. It means one value will be 4 kg. If one part value is 4 kg, so 5 part value will be 20 kg. So it is simple and the answer is 20 kg only. I hope it is clear to all now. Okay, so let's move to the next problem. Again, the rule is same. First you will try the problem yourself. Try it by yourself. Pause the video, try by yourself because this problem number 2 and 3 is almost same. Just the data is changed. So I hope you will get the answer here. Let me discuss this now. See, if I have two varieties of tea costing rupees 60 a kg and 65 a kg, and I am selling this mixture at rupees 68.20 a kg, getting a gain of 10%. Again, if you see, the selling price of mixture is given, that is how much? 68.2. And how much gain is given? The gain is given 10%. So you will be using the funda of profit and loss here. You have two different variety of tea, the T1 and T2. The cost of T1 is 60 rupees per kg, the cost of T2 is 65 rupees per kg, and you need to find the cost of mixture now. So what will be the cost of mixture that you need to calculate? See, so from here I will calculate the cost of mixture. So for the gain of 10%, I will be writing this equation: SP is equal to 1.1 CP. So SP is given to me, the selling price is given 68.2. If I divide it by 1.1, I get the cost price of mixture. So if you divide it simply, it will be divisible completely. Decimal and decimal I will remove. 11 to 6 times 66, then 2 will come here, 22. So this answer is 62. So the cost price of mixture is 62 rupees per kg. So I will be writing here the cost price only. Don't do mistake. Again I repeat, you cannot write the selling price here because this is the cost price of the T1. This is again the cost price of the T2. So here you need to write the cost price of the mixture only. So if you take the difference of these two, you get 3 here. If you take the difference of these two, you get 2 here. So in what ratio you should mix them? You should mix them in the ratio of 3:2. And that's your answer. So A part is your answer for this question. I hope it is clear. It was a simple question and same as question number 2 that we have discussed. Let's move to the different variety of question now. Okay, moving to the different variety. Question number 4. Try this by yourself again by using the allegation technique. Just try it. See whether you can solve this question by yourself or not. Okay, so this is a different question. Now here the question says a mixture of certain quantity of juice with 32 liter of water is worth 1.5 per liter. If pure juice is to be worth rupees 4.50 per liter, how much juice is there in the mixture? Okay, so here if you see, you have the mixture of pure juice with water, isn't it? You have these two different varieties. You have one pure juice and you have one water, and you are mixing them and creating some mixture. So the pure juice cost is given. If the pure juice is to be worth 4.50 per liter, so the cost of pure juice is given as 4.5. You need to think in your mind in what term you are going to write the allegation. So I'm going to write the allegation in terms of cost price. And that's what I said, the rule 2. The rule 2 of the allegation you need to keep in mind always. If you are writing the cost price, you need to write the cost price only. Okay, all three things should be cost price. So the cost price of pure juice is 4.5 rupees per liter. And the cost price of mixture that you will create is 1.5. That is given in this. See, a mixture of certain quantity of juice with 32 liters of water is worth 1.5 per liter. So this is nothing but the cost price of the mixture is given. Okay, so mixture cost price is given, cost price of juice is given. So what I will take the cost price of water. So here when the price of the water is not mentioned in the question, I always take as 0 because water is freely available. So if nothing is mentioned in the question, I take the cost price of water as 0. Now the question is very easy to handle. If you take the difference of these two, you find 3 here. If you take the difference of these two, you get 1.5 here. So the ratio of 1.5 and 3 is nothing but 1:2. So it's clear from the question that pure juice and water must be mixed in 1:2. Means the water should be double in quantity. But question says there is 32 liters of water. Okay, so the quantity of water is given as 32 liters. You need to find how much juice I need to mix. So the value of 2 is 32 liters. So value of 1 will be, if 2 is 32, so 1 will be 16. So the value of 1 will be 16 liters. And hence the answer is B part. So again, I think this is not a difficult question, just the different variety we are seeing. Here we have written the allegation in terms of cost price. So here I write the cost price of the pure juice, here I write the cost price of the water, and then I take the cost price of the mixture, and then I apply the allegation, I get my answer. Okay, I hope it is clear to all. Moving to the next problem. Problem number 5. We will move on, problem number 5. See, again, this is similar to problem 4, but you need to keep in your mind in what terms you are going to write your allegation. Okay, you need to keep this in your mind. See the problem properly. It's a good question. Sea water contains 5% salt by weight. Okay, how many kilogram of fresh water must be added to 40 kg of sea water for the salt content of the solution to be 2%? See, initially you had a sea water which contains 5% salt by weight. Of course, when you are going to add the fresh water, so the amount of water will increase and amount of, or the percentage of, you can say, salt will decrease. When you are going to add the fresh water into the sea water, the whole quantity of water is increasing and hence the percentage of salt will decrease. Okay, so here the percentage of salt to become 2%. So what two things you are mixing? You are mixing sea water with fresh water, isn't it? You are mixing sea water with fresh water. Now you need to keep in your mind in what term you will write your allegation. See, so I will be writing the allegation in terms of percentage of salt. In terms of percentage of salt. Why I am writing the allegation in terms of percentage of salt? Because that is given in the question only. Only the data of percentage of salt is given. So the sea water contains 5% salt by weight. So I will write 5 here. Fresh water contain how much salt? If you think properly, you will see that if it is the fresh water, it will not contain salt. It will contain 0% salt. Because in fresh water, there cannot be any salt, okay? And that's why the percentage of salt in the fresh water I will take as 0. And when I mix these two, sea water and fresh water, I get the solution. And in the solution, there is 2% salt. That's what the question says. How much solution should become? It should become 2% solution salt. Okay, 2% salt solution. So now it's easy question. Again, you can apply the allegation. If you subtract these two or take the difference of these two, you will write 2 here. Difference of these two is 3. So sea water and fresh water must be mixed in the ratio of 2:3. So here it is given that 40 kg of sea water is mixed. Okay. How many kg of fresh water? So how many kg of fresh water you need to mix with 40 kg of sea water? So 40 kg of sea water. Okay. So 2 value is given as 40 kg. If 2 value is given as 40 kg or 2 part is 40 kg, so 1 part will be 20 kg. And if 1 part is 20 kg, the 3 part will be 60 kg. So I need to mix 40 kg of sea water with 60 kg of fresh water to get my answer, and that's why answer will be B part. 60 kg. I hope it is clear. The only problem you will face in this question is in what term I need to write the allegation. This is the main problem that you will face. So you need to write the allegation in terms of percentage of salt. And why? Because it is given in the question. The percentage of salt of seawater is given 5, the percentage of salt of mixture is given 2, and in fresh water the percentage of salt will be 0. And as soon as you get these 3 values, just apply the technique and get the answer very easily. Let's move to the next variety of problem. And I think this 5 question might have given you some idea. So we have this next question, question number 6. I'm moving on. See, this is quite a different problem taken from the profit and loss chapter, but it's easy to handle. Again, pause the video and try to solve by yourself. See, the question reads like this. A trader has 60 kg of pulse. Okay, a trader has 60 kg of pulses, one part of which is sold at 8% profit and the rest is sold at 14% profit. And overall he gains 12%. Okay, on the whole transaction he is getting 12%. So the question asks you, what is the quantity sold at 14%? So out of 60 kg, some part is sold at 8% profit and some part is sold at 14% profit, and overall he is getting 12% as a gain. So what is the quantity sold at 14% profit? See how we can handle this question with the help of allegation technique. It's very easy, believe me. So you have two different quantities that are sold, quantity 1 let's suppose and quantity 2. So let's suppose quantity 1 is sold at 8% profit, quantity 2 is sold at 14% profit. So when it is given profit and profit, I will take as positive. 8% profit, so positive sign, 14% profit, so I take positive sign. And when I'm selling quantity 1 at 8% profit and quantity 2 at 14% profit, on a whole I'm getting 12% as a profit. Okay, on a whole I'm getting 12% as a profit. Just take the difference of these two, you get 2 here, the difference of these two, you get 4 here, and if you take the ratio, you get 1:2. So the quantities 1 and 2 are sold in the ratio of 1:2, isn't it? So if you are selling 1 kg of quantity 1, you will sell 2 kg of quantity 2. So total how much you are selling? So from here, if you have the knowledge of ratio, you can handle this very easily. So from here you can see total how much I am selling. If I am selling 1 part of quantity 1, I am selling 2 part of quantity 2. So total I am selling 3 part, but in question it is given 3 part is equal to 60 kg. So 3 is given as 60 kg. So 1 will be given as 20 kg. So it's clearly now, this is 1 part, quantity 1 is 20 kg because 1 is given as 20 kg and quantity 2 is 2 part I am taking. So 2 part will be 40 kg. So this is your answer. So what is the quantity sold at 14% profit? So at 14% profit I am selling 40 kg. So the answer is C part for this question. You are selling 40 kg at 14% profit. If the question asks you how much quantity you are selling at 8%, so your answer will be 20 kg. You are selling 20 kg at 8% profit. So these are the very simple things. I assume that you already had the knowledge of ratio and profit and loss before you watch this video, because the basics of profit and loss, ratio and time speed distance will be used in the allegation. Because allegation is nothing but the different variety of questions are being solved with a particular method. So you must have the previous knowledge of percentage, ratio, profit and loss and time speed distance so that you can master the allegation very easily. I hope this problem is very simple. The only one thing I want to add here is, if suppose in place of profit, loss is given. Let's suppose some part is given at 8% profit and some part is sold at 8% profit and some part is sold at, let's suppose, 10% loss. And on a whole, there is, let's suppose, 5% gain. So how will you write your equation? I just want to explain this thing. If in, let's suppose, any other problem you solve and this kind of data is given, what data is given? I just repeat again. Let's suppose some part is sold at 8% profit, some part is sold at 10% loss, and on a whole you are getting 5% gain. So how you write it in terms of allegation? So you write 8 here. So profit you will use positive sign, For loss, you will use negative sign. So you will write minus 10 here. And on an whole, you are getting 5% gain, so you will write 5 here. So these three things should be written in this way. So for profit, you use positive sign. For loss, you use negative sign. And overall, there is profit. That's why I use positive sign. Now I take the difference of these two. If you take the difference of these two here, you will get 15. Keep in mind the difference you are taking. From minus 10 to 5, you are going, it is 15. And 8 and 5, the difference is 3. So the ratio will be 5:1. So let's suppose in any other problem you come across these kind of things where the profit and loss both are given, you can easily apply this technique. I hope you enjoyed the session, and this was all from my side in this lesson. And in the next lesson, I will be creating some more good questions for you people so that you can handle different variety. So I'm stopping the video here. Okay, goodbye, take care, have a nice day.